In this lecture, we'll be actually exploring the commands that we discussed in the previous lecture on how to work with lists in Redis. So here, you can see that we are making use of rpush command to push this C# to this languages list. So rpush, as we discussed, adds an element to the end of a list. So this is the first item in the list, so the position doesn't matter in this case. But when we make use of PHP over here and we add it via rpush, this will be added at the end. Now, coming on to lpush, lpush adds an element to the beginning of a list. So when we say add Python to the languages list, Python will be added before C#. And finally, we are adding Java to languages using lpush. So Java will also be the first item over here in this list, then Python, C# and PHP. Then we have lpop. Now lpop removes the first element from a list and returns it. So when we say echo Redis lpop from this languages list, it's going to print Java because that's the first item in the list, and remaining items will be Python, C# and PHP. Then again we are making use of rpop, which removes the last element from a list and returns it. Now last element in this list was PHP, so that's what will be printed over here, and the remaining items in the list are now Python and C#. Finally, we are making use of length, which is used to get the length of the list. So here the items, as you can see, are only 2, so the output will be 2. And then we have Redis lrange. Now lrange gets a range of elements from a list, and we are doing print r on this, so the whole array will be printed. So now, if I run this in browser, you'll see these lines are printed. So when we are doing echo Redis lpop, Java is printed. When we are saying echo Redis rpop, PHP is printed. Then we are saying echo Redis ln, then the total length of the list is printed as 2. And when we are making use of lrange using print r, this is the array which is printed. So we have 2, Python and C#. Now one thing I would like to highlight over here is the use of del command. Now if you will keep on refreshing this page, obviously these items will be inserted that many number of times in this list, and that way you won't be able to get the desired result which we are explaining in this lecture. So what I have done is I have initially cleared out the key itself, and then we are preparing it or initializing it with every page load. So that way the example remains consistent. Now in the next lecture we'll be taking a look at how we can work with hashes in Redis.